All right, what is happening? What is happening, guys? Bitcoin is dropping. Bitcoin is a dropping. XRP is dropping. I was waiting for this drop, but we are still technically in an uptrend. So I might be looking for a long at the bottom here. I'm not sure. I'll have to relook at my MACD on the 4-hour. But what is up, fam? What is up? Wednesday, right? Wednesday, this is our live schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday until the market kicks back into full gear. Right, guys, when the market kicks back into full gear, I'll definitely be doing more lives. But right now, we're just coasting in the market. There's a massive rejection on Bitcoin. We're going to look at it. IXCO, how you doing? McKeed, how you doing? Mini Moog, you thought you were late, but you're early. Yeah, you're early. We started this a bit. White, how you doing? Did Joji reach out to you? I think he was trying to. All right, guys, hit up that like button. That is the only thing y'all should be tapping tonight. We're going to give it about 5 minutes. Wait for some people to come in here. I know everybody's taking a break off crypto. I get it. Trading has been kind of whatever the past couple of days. So, guys, I wouldn't be shorting Bitcoin right now. At least I wouldn't be jumping into a short, because your risk to reward is at the bottom of the channel. Like, if anything, I'd probably be longing Bitcoin. To be honest, I would probably be longing Bitcoin in this area right here. And if it breaks it, I would get out. Because here's the thing. Bitcoin is at the bottom of the channel. It is completely oversold. The other thing, guys, is your MACD. Your MACD is what I was going to say was your MACD is basically over. Well, it's still pointing up on BTC, right? So being that your MACD is still pointing up on BTC, just give me a minute, guys. I'm trying to look at a trade on BTC here. 1 minute, then we'll get back to this live. Okay. So I was going to say the MACD on Bitcoin is still moving up on the 4-hour time frame. So even though, and we are crossing down the MACD a bit, but we haven't crossed down completely. Even though the market is coming down, and it definitely is, we can see that we are bouncing off of this trend line. So here's the deal. I would be longing this until we break it. And if we break it, then I'm probably going to go short, right? But right now you're completely oversold. If we break it, fine, right? Then you get out of the trade. It is what it is. You take a loss. But the reality is that you're completely oversold. The 1 hour is very, very overbought. The 18 hours pointing down, but the MACD is pointing up. The daily is pointing up. You're kind of just in a range. You're really just in a range. If you end up breaking it, you end up breaking it, right? If we look at our liquidity gaps here, which I think I fixed. There we go. So if we look at our liquidity gaps here on BTC on the 1 hour time frame, we are kind of in no man's land area. There's a lot of support. you did break this order block or liquidity gap right here. But I would say Bitcoin's most likely going to return to around 68.9. There's a possibility. Of course, it could break, right? Anything could happen. It could break, drop down to the bottom of the channel here around 67K. It could also even wick down to maybe 66.6. But you can see how there's a bit of room to the bottom of the channel here, right? So I would expect Bitcoin to finish the candle around 67K and then maybe push back up to 68.4. Possibly. If it breaks, it breaks. Then it's a loss on the long. But keep in mind, we are completely oversold. So I would say about 67K. If it breaks this and starts back testing this and dropping, then we are definitely coming down. This does look like a little bit of manipulation in the Asia session. Again, we are dropping on our 4-hour and we're dropping on our MACD, so it may break it. And if it breaks it, that's fine. But we do have a trend line. We do have a trend line right there, right? So you got that 5-minute way oversold. You got that 15-minute way oversold. So what I'd be looking to do is I'd be looking for resistance at the top here. EK, how you doing? How's everyone doing, guys? I hope you are hanging in with the market. Obviously, that is broken right there. So it might just break, right? But this is one big red sell candle. Keep that in mind. So if we're going to the bottom of the trend. We did break this area right here. We'll see what happens. We got about 5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. We're going to put an alert right about here. Max Murphy, the big guy, spoke. That could definitely do something to the market. So I'm long off of this trend line. There's no reason to me to be short. If we break it, though, I'm going to get out. Not a crazy long. I want to see what happens here. I'm just following the trend. See if we have a nice little rounded bottom forming here on Bitcoin. That is essentially what I'm waiting for, something like that, right? So again, guys, I'm long around 67,200. It may break it. If it breaks it, oh well, I'm waiting for the back test. And then I will get out of my long. And obviously we can see it's trying to push down to that trend line, which is about 67K. Steven, how you doing? Thank you for everybody for joining the live. Is anyone trading anymore, guys? Are you guys trading? Are you watching the market? I know a lot of people have taken a break from crypto right now all over the net. A lot of views have gone down overall. Have you tried the RSI primed on TradingView? Just learned about it a few days ago. Cam, I will look at the RSI prime for sure. I will absolutely look at the RSI prime. Bob, how you doing? My swing trades are not working out. What gives? It's the market. It is the market, right? The market is the market. You can't really, you got to get in at the bottom and you got to get in at the top. And here we can see some 1 minute bullish divergence. So If anything, it looks like my long is probably going to play out, but we'll have to see. We got 1 minute bullish divergence. The chart keeps on going down, but the indicator is showing an uptrend here. So again, you have Asia dropping it all the way down from 68.6, dropping it. I would say we push back up into London or New York. That is a perfect V-shape rounded bottom, and rounded bottoms are money. I made good money today on Solana and gold. Good stuff, good stuff. Right? So that is my play right now, guys, in the market. We'll see what happens. I do want to go over to XRP right now. If you guys are looking for a trade, I am long, and that is kind of what I'm doing on Bitcoin. I might not stay long, but I'm definitely long. My risk to reward is really good because I'm at the bottom of the trend line, which means I won't really lose any money if I lose a bit of money, if Bitcoin actually does fake out there. So XRP is looking a bit different than Bitcoin. You're forming lower lows on your 1 minute, but you are completely oversold. And this candle is obviously coming back down to the bottom of the trend line. So if we're looking for the trend line on XRP, here's the bottom of the trend line. I would say this is probably going to bounce in this area right here based on that bullish dive and based on that rounded bottom, right? We can see this right here pushing up off that trend line perfectly. Anytime you guys see a rounded top at a break of trend at the top of resistance or at the top of the market, it's probably going to be a drop. Anytime you guys see a rounded bottom, it's probably going to be some movement to the upside. Right? Again, we have that 1 minute RSI pushing up. That was clear bullish divergence. We'll have to see how this one hour plays out, though. All right, fam, hit up that like button. Let's take a look at Solana. Okay, so we have Solana. Solana is kind of at the bottom of the channel. Solana's at the bottom of the channel here. We're looking at, yeah, so Bitcoin's fallen a bit still. Again, this is a 1 hour liquidation candle. We're kind of still riding that trend. Not too bad. If you guys are going to trade in this market, don't use super high leverage. It just is not good, not going to work out. But Sol, same thing. Sol, big drop, right? You have one big candle. You broke this liquidity gap. Now the 4 hour on Sol is touching the bottom here. I would say there's a possibility for a reversal in this area, but we'll have to see. I'll have to see what this trend does. Again, completely oversold in the 5 minute. 4 hour is dropping. I would say potentially this is going to be the bottom on Solana. Joe, how you doing? Thank you for coming on the live. Potentially 78 would be the bottom of Sol. Crazy how Sol's at 78. You did break this uptrend right here. This would have been a really nice short at $87 on Sol because you broke that uptrend. There's not really any bullish divergence at the moment. All right, let's go check out Bitcoin here. Hit that like button, fam. I appreciate you guys. My leverage on Sol is 15. Plasher, what's Plasher? $15x on Sol, is that too high? Yeah, I do think that is really high for sure. This is just one red candle on Bitcoin, guys. Like one big liquidation, manipulation, whatever you want to call it. Here's the trend line bounce we're looking for. We could wick down to 66K and then wick back up, but I would say this is going to be the bottom. All right, how about Aave? Why Aave? Because Aave follows Bitcoin like a little lost puppy. And I'm telling you guys, when Aave drops, I normally like to get along on Aave. So let me... Aave went all the way to 101 and back down to $95, right? Is anybody long with me? Are you guys staying short, or are you not trading at the moment? And there's no right or wrong answer, guys. Of course, I'm longing only because I see opportunity. And I've been very patient with this market recently. I've barely been trading, if anything, as I'm sure a lot of people have not traded as well. Possibility that a long would good look in this area. Tim, how you doing, man? It's really nice seeing you on the live. I hope you're okay. Haven't seen you for a bit, brother. Gonna go 10x. Yeah, I'd be careful if you're leaving it overnight, right? Yeah, so Bitcoin's trying to bounce in this region right here off that bullish dive. You can see pretty much from 68K, we've been riding that 1 minute trend line. No problem, Tim. No problem. I understand. Hope your mom's doing okay. Is a lot of communities quiet in crypto, guys? I imagine a lot of you guys watch YouTube. How is the trajectory? I just don't really have time to watch other people in lives. I've got a lot of stuff going on in life right now. See, here's a channel on Dogecoin. That would have been a real nice long there on Doge. Doge is looking all right with some bullish divergence in this area right there. Waiting for a retrace to add to the short. Sabata, thank you for commenting. If we could break this trend line, I would say you're going to get your retrace. But in the shorter term, this is going to be the bounce off of the like this order block. You're going to bounce off this order block right here. You can see the bullish dive. Yeah, right? So a lot of people think 66.5 is the right call. I'm not saying it's the wrong call. But again, guys, keep in mind, you're in an uptrend right now. We're actually not in a downtrend on Bitcoin, right? What is up, CJDV? How you doing, brother? Yeah, this is going to be the bounce, guys. I'm long at the moment, right? A lot of you guys thinking we're just going to drop, but here's the thing. We're actually in an uptrend. Let me show you right here. We have a point right here. We have a point right here. That is 3 points, okay? 3 points of strong support. You're completely oversold on the 15. You're completely oversold on the 5. So if that is the case, that means, and riddle me this for a moment, right? That means the next resistance would be around 68.7 and then ultimately 70K. But we're not in a downtrend. All right. We are in an uptrend, and these are the 2 points of entry we'd be looking at. Now, if we break that, guys, we're definitely going to be in a downtrend, right? Because keep in mind, you're breaking that. You're coming. If we break this uptrend, we're coming all the way down to 65K. All right. But if we don't break it, we're kosher. And based on what I'm seeing right now with the bullish dive, I could see a pump to almost 68.5. It is April Fool's, guys. Keep in mind. Okay. Whatever April Fool's means to you, it is April Fool's. But Tokyo is already across April Fool's for tomorrow, so it doesn't really matter, right? But again, it is okay to lose trades, right? It is okay to lose trades. The thing is, you guys want to make sure you're not losing as much. Like if you put $1,000, you don't want to lose $700. You're only going to have $300 left, right? You want to make sure you only lose 70, maybe $100, but I would say 70 to 50, right? Because then you can make that money back fairly quick. All right, we haven't checked out Ethereum. I'm not even going to bother looking at the leverage chart here. Right, but 1 to 2% of your account per stop loss, and the stop loss never moves. Correct. So you could even make it 3% of the account, Cam. I do make it 3% of the account, but you need to have money to lose money, and you need to have money to make money. Unfortunately, this is how life works. But 3% to 2%, man, Cam, you got it. Like, you got it, right? I would possibly be looking for a long on Ethereum, guys, around 2000. Like, again, we're in an uptrend. We're not in a downtrend right now. There's no reason to panic, but Ethereum does have some real nice bullish divergence here on the 15-minute time frame. And I got to stop being a hater on Ethereum so much, because the 3 coins that you should be trading with big money is Ethereum, Bitcoin, and XRP. That is pretty much it. Yeah, I can see Ethereum dropping maybe down to about 2000. I wouldn't long it until it comes down to the trend line. Okay, so the 1 hour closed on Bitcoin, and it looks like we are dropping again. However, we're still very oversold in the 5-minute. We still are in an uptrend on our 1-minute. Okay, I got some trending coins, guys. I got some trending coins, guys, for the live. So we're looking at Drift and StakeStone, whatever that is. It's not a leverage, though. Oh, it is. Holy man, this thing is rocking and rolling. Has anyone traded StakeStone today? Oh my goodness, this is going to be a dynamite short, guys. Look at this. This is money, okay? When you see something like this, you lick your chops because it is money. Like, come on. This is just beautiful. Now, I would be not using all my money or my mortgage. Like, this is absolutely insane. Look how many times, and not only look how many times, we formed a Batman, right? So we have a Batman right here, or what you want to call it, a massive head and shoulder on the RSI. You already broke trend, and now you have a huge rounded top. I think if I was going to trade this, I would wait for the hype to chill out a bit. And I would wait for my I would at least wait for my 50 MA to cross. But it does look like this wants to drop sometime, right? So StakeStone is looking okay. Possibly. I wouldn't trade it right away, but it is looking okay. Okay, so Bitcoin's definitely dropping here. We're trying to. Trying to get people to go short. I wouldn't go short though. The 5 minutes very, very oversold. One minute, 1 hour is very oversold. 15 minutes very oversold. Looks like what we're doing is forming a huge rounded bottom. So we've got resistance right here at 67.4. We need to break out. We break out of that, we're good. It seems like we are bouncing off of, trying to bounce off of this trend line, which is essentially this liquidity gap right here. Anything could happen. This is crypto, right? Okay, so we have StakeStone. What else do we have? Drift. Well, Drift pumped a lot. Or wait. Drift just dumped hard. Drift just dumped really, really hard. That would have been a real nice short. Wow. I have no idea why Drift is trending because it isn't necessarily pumping. It's on a really crazy downtrend. Honestly, Drift could be a very good long if Drift can hold this major support right around here. Tim, thank you. Cam, it's just a little... It is just a little bit off from 67 to about 67.2. Fran, thank you for commenting. I appreciate you. Slack, how you doing? No problem. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. We're really just ranging at this trend line, right? Yeah, Drift had a hack. Yeah. So again, Solana can drop all the way down to 77. Remember what I said about that trend line? Like Solana broke the uptrend. It looks like Bitcoin wants to try and break. I wouldn't be going short. I don't know if I want to hold my long, though. That 5 minutes is so oversold. Yeah, whatever is fine. We've got major support. Major support right here. Even 66.6 isn't bad because we got a lot of support here. So let's say we came down to this area for whatever reason. I'm fine. As long as we don't break 66.3. But it should bounce off this region right here. Let's see how many hours we have left to the 4-hour close. Okay, so we have 1 hour and 50 minutes left. I don't like the 4-hour dropping. That is something I don't like at all. But we're just too oversold for this to be a short. We've got a huge round of bottom forming. It might not play out, guys. It might not play out. If it doesn't play out, I lose the trade. It is simple, right? But based on what I'm seeing right now and playing that bottom of the channel, hit that like button, fam, if you have not. All right, let's go take a look at CoinGecko here, see what we got going on. You know what I haven't looked at? Bitcoin Cash. And Bitcoin Cash is, well, was running up like crazy. Nice little uptrend here to about 469. Now we dropped to 449. Tim, that's what I should say instead of Bitcoin Cash looked pretty good here, but now Bitcoin Cash is holding around at bottom. Everything is forming bullish divergence on the higher time frames. Lower time frames, I mean. Nothing is happening though, guys. Like, even though we're dropping a bit right now, we're not really dropping. Like, we would completely have to break that support for us to fully drop. See what XRP is at. XRP, you're looking at about 131. I probably, maybe not right now, but I probably would be looking for a long on XRP around 131. Again, play it. You're completely oversold. Look for that bottom of the channel, right? Okay, so Bitcoin is breaking the channel, but the question is this going to be a fake out? So Bitcoin is definitely breaking the channel. So now I want to see where this 15-minute candle closes. STO is ripping for sure. STO is flying. This is going to be a really, really good short when it drops. Really, really, really good short when it drops. STO's in a really big rising wedge. All right, so let's see what Bitcoin's doing. So we finally broke the channel, which we didn't want, but it is what it is. And now it looks like Bitcoin is definitely breaking the channel. So we were holding at the bottom of the channel, but now we're definitely breaking it. I just want to see how this 15-minute candle finishes, because we have an order block right here. This is a problem with Bitcoin breaking. Anytime Bitcoin breaks the channel and we're very, very oversold, I would say we can push down to here and then possibly fake out and come back up. Or we might not push down at all, but we're just very, very oversold. So it looks like we're trying to go for some bullish dive. I don't know. The market's a wild card, guys, because we are completely oversold. But we are dropping too and we're breaking trend. Typically when we break trend, normally crazy stuff like bullish dive, and then we pump past the previous order block and all that jazz. What time frame would I watch on STO? So basically what I would be doing, yeah, STO is flying. Basically what I would be doing, my max retrace target would probably be about 66.6. But keep in mind, my Bitcoin long, Bitcoin could go to 66K and I'll be fine, right? Time frame, I would say the 15-minute, but I just don't trust this coin with a 10-foot pole. This has insane bearish divergence, but it's also not dropping. Huge rising wedge, though, so when it does break, it will be a really, really good short. Hit that like button, guys. Let's run up the YouTube live. Crazy, crazy, just pumping and pumping. This would have been a nice long to get into at the bottom. Honestly, guys, I'm not buying the drop, but it could be legit. Of course, anything could happen. All right, let's look at CoinGecko. So we got Drift Protocol. Stake Ontology did something, so it looks like I might be lining a short up for Ontology, ONT. Maybe, possibly. It already broke, but it did pump a lot. When ontology runs, it runs. When it dumps kind of deal. So we'd be taking the bottom here. This could be a really, really good short, guys, coming up on ontology. If it pumps back to around 12 cents, 12.9, 13 in that region, ontology could be a dynamite short. I'd be looking for a short on ontology around this peak resistance right here. Yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. Bitcoin's not really cooperating right now. It is breaking the trend. Let me redraw this. Okay, so your POC's right here. I guess this could be one more resistance point, which is about 66.6. We're just very, very oversold. Like, very. I know we keep on going down, but it looks like we could go down like this and then continue back up. Touching that 66.6 is probably what is going to happen right now because we have that order block right there. And it looks like we're definitely trying to push it down. We might not hit it, but there's a possibility because there's a 5-minute order block around this area. We already did break out. Yeah, we already did break out and we're going a bit lower. About 66. This would be that order block right here. We might not hit it, but there's a big possibility we do hit it. Okay, I want to see this STO USDT on our liquidity gaps. Man, this thing went, bro, this thing flew. This is going to be such a dynamite short, guys, when it drops. Like, Elias, how you doing? This will drop quite a bit. When it drops, it'll tank. So keep an eye on STO. Yeah, even right here you have bullish divergence on the every time frame. So we're definitely close to bottom, and I would say around that 66.6 if it goes down to that. If not, it should be retracing in this area. Make sure you manage your leverage too, guys, because we know Asia is dropping for this 4-hour candle. What is gold doing, right? XAU gold. XAUT, we're on XC. We could look up that one here. Gold pumped a bit to 4,700. Hope you guys are all enjoying the live. Again, I am in a Bitcoin long. It might not play out. It might play out. I'm going to hold it. to that order block around 66.5. We'll see what happens. Gold is in an uptrend. So tough for me to trade gold right now because we... Okay, so here's the deal right here. Gold did break out, and it is back testing the breakout. But now we're kind of just chilling on gold. So what do you guys think? The market is going to drop? Are you shorting the market? Are you longing the market? Or are you sitting on your hands? What is the trajectory of the feelings? Obviously, people are thinking the market is going to drop, right? We're also coming down to the POC, guys, right here. Keep in mind, this is the point of control. We keep coming down to the volume area after we pump. I guess there's a possibility if I redraw this trend on Bitcoin that we do come down to this area, because now that I'm re-looking at it, and I'm fine where I got my long and just dollar cost average. Now that where I'm looking at it, it looks like Bitcoin could probably bounce off of 66.3 area, because now that is the sideways uptrend. Short crypto, long gold, right? There is no wrong or right answer. Again, we are completely oversold, but some crypto are probably gonna drop. Let's see what else we got here on CoinGecko. If there's anything important I can find. I actually do want to look at total 3. Or actually, I'll look at total, which is the overall total crypto market cap. So this is very concerning to me, guys, with the overall total crypto market cap. Bitcoin, I'm not convinced of the drop just because we're oversold, but this is the overall trend line. If anything, I just see Bitcoin going sideways, but this is the overall trend line here from March 29th. And you've got a little bit of an uptrend here. Okay. There is a little bit of an uptrend, right? So if you guys look right here, this definitely should be dropping on the total crypto market cap, which is essentially the whole crypto cap together, because it did hit the top. which means that overall this could come all the way down to about 2.19 trillion. The problem I have with that is we're just completely overbought. So you know what might happen? This actually might be a thing. So Bitcoin might pump back up. Let's just say Bitcoin pumps back up to that conversion. Let's just say this is the trend line. And I think that this is the trend line because I forgot that this wicked. Yeah. So 66.3. So in the shorter term, let's say Bitcoin pumps back up to the resistance here or the conversion line around 67.8. Then there's a possibility we come back down and hit about 66.3 based on what I'm seeing right now. Right? And then if we look at the fib, we're about to hit the 618. So if you're looking at your retracement, guys, we're about to hit the 618. I'm not saying long, but I would definitely say long in this area, even non-financial advice, but anywhere from 66.6 to 67K is a good long. We're completely oversold. I would say we maybe even start coming up here, but I would be cautious and take profit probably around 68.3. And then maybe revisit that low about 66.1 to 3, right? Hit that like button, guys. Shout out to everybody on the live. All right, fam. All right. What else do we got? That is popping? We've got hype around 35. That means nothing. BNB. I have not looked at BNB in a hot minute. So when do you guys think we're going to get an altcoin season, or when do you think we're going to get another drop? What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? See, initially, guys, this would be a really, really good long for me, right? Like, you're at the bottom. You kind of have some bullish dive here. You have BNB. You dropped. Now you're probably going to do a little round to bot. You know, BNB might be a really good long if you're looking to long it. If you're looking at risk to reward, that is a 1 to 9. Well, depends on the depends on where you're putting your stop loss, but yeah, not looking too bad. I would say that we are probably going to start pumping shortly. Maybe not pumping, but definitely running up. Shout out to all the people tonight, guys, on the live. Hit that like button, fam. Hit, tap it. And remember, guys, we're doing a live tomorrow night, the same time, 8:30 p.m. CST. All right, 8:30 p.m. CST. We're still going to be on the live here for a bit. I do want to look at Cardano. So this is very interesting. If we look at Cardano, we kind of broke out and we're just ranging right here. I like to call it drunk dad Cardano. So we're kind of just ranging right here. We're hanging out in this area. And hypothetically, guys, Cardano guys, is just going sideways, but there's some bullish dive on Cardano. So we are looking for a target of roughly 53, which is darn good money. Yeah, Cardano is very, very close. And I mean very close to the bottom. Very, very close to the bottom, guys, with Cardano. So it looks like Bitcoin is going to go for that 618, which is possibly going to be 66.6 in that region. It will try for sure. I would say a wick down here is pretty possible for sure. Thank you guys all for joining live. I appreciate you. Again, I do want to apologize for the change of the schedule, guys. But honestly, I think for everyone's sake, it is good that we don't have to look at crypto every day because we get a kind of have a fresh brain, and we kind of got to check out what is happening. Well, technically, Sabata, it is on a higher high, actually. If you look right here, higher low, another higher low, but it has to close above 66K, right? So we'll see. We'll see. We got the 618 right here. We got our liquidity gaps somewhere around here. We got our liquidity gaps right here on the 5-minute time frame. So I'm curious to see what London does. If we're following AMD, it does look like distribution. But I want to see where they close. AMD accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? Because if we close back above here, that was for sure manipulation in Tokyo. Tau was raging for a bit. Let's take a look at Tau. I can't wait till crypto does something, guys, because then I could do what I have planned for the channel and some pretty fun stuff. And I'm going to start doing it slowly, but make sure you guys tuned into the channel. Make sure you guys have on the notification bell. All of that jazz. Yeah, so even Tau broke, but I don't trust shorting Tau because we're on a massive uptrend. Tau is on a massive uptrend right here around 216. $217, $216 on Tau. I would not be shorting this, guys. I also would not be longing it. Number Phil, how you doing? Thank you for coming on live. If you're new to the channel, guys, hit subscribe. This is one of the best crypto channels in the world. Don't take my word for it. Take our community's word. We're looking at around 214 to 215 on Tau. I am going to be setting an alert here because I think Tau is probably going to continue up after it hits the bottom of this trend line. But I still would not be shorting it because it is in an uptrend. Joe, you know, most you're trading 230, 430. I think that's a good time to trade for sure. So we can see that rounded bottom kind of coming into fruition now, right? Anytime you guys see a chart like this and you're that oversold, even though we keep on pushing down, know your liquidity gaps, know your order blocks, and also understand that a rounded bottom, they pay the bills, right? Now it looks like you're just going to do something like this, which would mean that Tokyo manipulated. Let me look at our New York zones here. Okay. So right now, okay, so New York. So yeah, you know what? Tokyo did manipulate because Tokyo took out the New York high from today and now is taking out and then dropped all the way back down. So yeah, Tokyo did manipulate right here at about 68.6. And then we had that big drop. I do want to check on Super, see how Super's doing. Again, guys, welcome to all the new fam. If you're new, let me know in the comment section below. Where are you tuning in from? What side of the world? Super Farm dropped a lot, or Super, whatever you want to call it. You had that massive pump, and now you're about to have a massive sell-off here. Or you're having a massive sell-off. What am I talking about? Yeah, so Bitcoin's trying to come down to that 618 area and fill this liquidity gap. You can pretty much see it, right? It's trying to push back up, but every time you get a sell candle. Yo, Hypervid, shout out to Saskatchewan. All right, so now we're coming down to the 618. Big drop here on Bitcoin, obviously. Now let's see if we bounce off of it, right? If we don't bounce off of it, we are going a lot more down. Yeah, Bitcoin's just selling off. But again, we're in that rounded bottom. So rounded bottoms are meant to be broken too. But we did hit the 618 here. Toronto, Saskatchewan, man. Shout out to all my Canadian people. Again, guys, if you're trading low leverage, super, super low leverage, super low leverage. Obviously, we're very oversold, which is fine. Okay, what else do we got here? We looked over. I haven't looked at Chainlink 2 for a while. Wow, Link is $8. Chainlink would have been a real nice trade for sure to short. Yeah, Chainlink would have been a real nice trade to get at the top here around $9. But I could see Chainlink, not right now, but after the retrace, I could see Chainlink dropping all the way down to $8. So it looks like the trajectory is we are going to drop, but there should be a retrace with that 15-minute oversold to the top of whatever time frame that is going to be. That would be your 618 right there. We got some people on the live, guys, tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, fam. I appreciate everybody for joining. Shout out to all the new people. What else are we looking at here? Sui? Let's try Sui. I'm just looking at the coins that I looked at for a bit before. Yeah, so the market is very oversold, guys. Very, very, very. You're probably looking for Sui to come up. Like, it did break out already, right? You broke out already, so Sui could potentially come back up to here. You do got an hour candle closing and finishing as well. OXBR should be a good short. See, basically what the market keeps doing, guys, is pushing down, but keeps spiking back up. So all they're going for is that liquidity, right? That is a huge rounded bottom. You already broke out a long time ago, so now you're just waiting for it to kind of chill out. Oh, I think you're... What coin? OXBR? It's not even showing up. Let's just pretend that this is the low for now, because if this is the low for now, that should be your new high. If it isn't, then we'll have to mark our new low, right? Positive adoption news came out on SUI. Good stuff, good stuff. Whenever I see a pattern like this in the market, I love it because I know eventually it's going to come back up. We did hit that 618. Wow, I'm trying to remember the large caps. Solana, TRX. XRP, TRX. What is TRX doing? Oh, we had a big pump on TRX. Not too bad. I wouldn't say big pump, but a decent pump for sure. Shout out to you for putting on to STO. This one may run for a while. Yeah, definitely. If you can scalp it or trade it, definitely check it out, right? TRX dropped. It should drop down to about 29, but this is a slow turtle. But yeah, let's check out STO again. Again, guys, our schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday for now, 8:30 p.m. CST. We will add to that later once the market gets back to some major movement. So make sure you guys are planning your calendar for Monday, 8:30 p.m. CST, Tuesday. Wait, not Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, this one's not bad. It just keeps on going in a rising uptrend, right? All right, guys, thank you very much for joining this live tonight. We are at about an hour and 30-ish. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Make sure you guys join beastlimitless.com and make sure you guys are active in here, right? Because some people are active, but let's get this active again. Let's get people talking. I know the market is slow, guys, but the reality is that we all got to be a community and come together, okay? So I'm going to put a trade if I can. My trade will be Bitcoin, most likely. Possibly XRP. I'd be possibly looking for long at XRP around 131, I think I said. In this area, 131. But beastlimitless.com, guys, go join, go subscribe if you're not. Come hang out in the chat. I will have a live training for everybody probably the middle of April. It was supposed to be now, but I have to get everybody wrangled together. I have to send out an email and all that. So we will be doing a live training as well, guys. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys tonight. This is my long, and I'm going to ride it probably to about 67.7 or even to the top around 69K. I'm not sure. I got to see what Bitcoin does, but we're very, very oversold. Very oversold. Look at that, guys. Very, very oversold. And typically what happens after oversold, look at the 15-minute RSI before we come back here. So after you hit the bottom, you're normally going to hit the top all the time. We don't stay oversold for that long, okay? We get oversold and we come back up. We get overbought and we come down. You know, there are scenarios where we stay oversold for a bit here and here, but for the most part, when we're oversold, we come back up. So this means that 15-minute needs to reset and come back up to the top of the RSI, right? It doesn't mean we won't go down more. It just means that we're very, very close to coming back up for air. All right, guys, we'll see everybody tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. CST. All right, hit that like, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the app.